Hello and welcome to Wisdom Trek. This is Guthrie Chamberlain and I'm your guide to wisdom and creating a living legacy. Thank you for joining us for our 7-day-a-week, 7 Minutes of Wisdom podcast. This is day 136 of our trek, and for the past 6 days we remained in camp and studied the map of the wisdom trails as we explored Proverbs chapters 2 and 3. We will occasionally remain in camp and continue on in the book of Proverbs, but for today, we will head back on the trail and learn 6 lessons on how we can handle transition from one trail to another. If you do have any suggestions or your own observations, comments, or questions as we explore these nuggets of wisdom, please share them with us on the comment section of the Daily Journal page at wisdom-trek.com. We are recording our podcast from the studios at Home 2 in Charlotte, North Carolina, and it's been a very busy day of work after very little sleep on our red-eye flight back from Phoenix last night. It is amazing as humans that we have the ability to continue on with a very limited amount of sleep. We do hope to be re-energized before heading to Ohio on Friday for our grandson Gideon's 6th birthday celebration on Sunday. It will be a very quick trip up and back this weekend before heading back up again the following weekend. Life is very full, but we are enjoying the journey. And as we head out on our trek today, we soon come to a split in the trail and we find it difficult which would be the best path to take. One leads upwards through sparse growth, but probably leads to a beautiful view at the summit. The other trail leads us downward into the valley where there is lush growth and a river flowing through it. Oh my, which trail should we take? Most of the time, our decisions will not be one of choosing a good trail over a bad trail, but which path to take when both seem equally attractive in their own way. When we come to a split in the trails of life, those transition points, how do we make the most of the decisions that we do choose? Today we want to look at 6 reflection points for life's transitions. Major life's transitions, such as moving to a new city, becoming a parent, or deciding to retire, can be a very exciting and invigorating part of life if we view it in that manner. Yet transitions, even happy ones, can also be stressful and bring up mixed feelings for us. For most of us, change brings uncertainty and a certain measure of fear. This is natural, but we cannot allow fear to prevent us from moving forward. Moving from a rural community or farm into a big city with its excitement and challenges can be a bit overbearing. The first few weeks after the move is usually much more difficult than anticipated. In a similar way, no matter how exciting getting pregnant or having a child is, the magnitude of this life transition can be overwhelming. Although I don't plan on retiring anytime soon myself, and it actually could be many years, the thought of not working the majority of my time will certainly be a transition for me when it does arrive. The best way to prepare for the major transitions is to take some time for self-reflection. Use the following trail guide for 6 ways to help you to embrace change and make the most of your new life's trails. The first reflection point is to recognize that transitions are hard because they can shake your sense of identity. We naturally define ourselves, in part, by our surroundings. It can be disorienting. Getting married, for instance, changes your identity from a single person to a spouse. And if you're a woman, having a child changes your sense of identity from a wife or daughter to now include being a mother. A new job changes your identity or role at work. For example, it is exciting to get a promotion at work, but this new position has more responsibility. But as a manager, you no longer have your peer team that you were working with. This can lead to feeling overwhelmed, and you may worry, am I really equipped for this job? Maybe I was actually better off before. It will take some time to rebuild your sense of identity in your new role with every change of life. As you become more comfortable, though, in your new duties or your new responsibilities, and with your new colleagues, your work identity will be reestablished. The second reflection point is, being in transition is a wonderful opportunity for growth. Take a look at the parts of yourself and your life that you value most. How can you bring those parts of yourself into this new role? Next, look at the areas of yourself that you would like to make changes to. Perhaps you neglected some important area of your life such as your body, mind, or soul. Transitions are an opportunity to begin practicing new habits and new ways of interacting with yourself and with others. Enjoy this transition for growth, even if it seems a bit overwhelming or painful today. Our third reflection point, remind yourself why you chose to make this change. As you start onto your new trail of life and feeling a little lost during this transition, it can be easy to regret your decision. Why didn't I just stay on the trail I was comfortable with, you might ask. When doubt creeps in, and it will, review the reasons why you made this decision. As an example, you might say, I made this career change to further my skills and better utilize my abilities. And when you see this big picture, it helps you to move from being overwhelmed to understanding that this is just a temporary adjustment, and while it is difficult now, you are willing to go through some uncertainty and discomfort for the long-term gain. Reflection point number 4. Recall other times in your life when you successfully dealt with transition. This is not the first new trail that you've been on in life. What helped you to get through another period of transition? Looking back, how did you feel about your past decisions that you've made? What were you proud of, and what could you have done differently? Reflecting on your past can help you to make good and even better decisions as you move forward. Reflection point number 5. When you are in transition, it's easy to become overly focused on yourself. It is all too easy to become consumed with ourselves. We all fall prey to that. One way to shift your focus is to look for others who actually may need your help. If you're at work, it may be a coworker who you notice is having a bad day. If you are in an exercise class, reach out to another person that seems to be having a hard time. Making an effort to support others helps you to remember that everyone struggles at times, and that is part of the human connection that can be very powerful and aid in helping you get through your transition. As Paul's letter to the church at Philippi mentioned in chapter 2, verses 3 and 4, don't be selfish. Don't try to impress others. Be humble, thinking of others as better than yourselves. Don't look out only for your own interests, but take an interest in others too. Part of what helps you feel secure in transition is having a support system. Make an effort to stay connected. Keep in touch with your family. Call up a friend who lives in the area that you just moved to. Volunteer or get involved in an organization. Ask a new coworker to join you for lunch. Find people who you can really talk to, whether it's a trusted friend or a close family member. Being able to share how you're really feeling can be a tremendous source of strength for you also. As the writer of Hebrews wrote down in chapter 1, verse 25, "And let us not neglect our meeting together, as some people do, but encourage one another, especially now that the day of his return is drawing near." And as you prepare for your new treks of life, know that the time that you've taken to reflect and prepare for your next trail on your journey will help you to live a rich and satisfying life. Today we considered the 6 reflection points as we transition the trails of life. Apply them to your life when you find yourself on a transition trail, and then come along with us tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, creating a legacy. And tomorrow we will travel the trail of opportunity. That will finish our podcast for today. Remember to listen to your daily dose of wisdom at wisdom-trek.com, or you can subscribe at iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spreaker, or YouTube. And if you subscribe, the episodes will be downloaded to you automatically each day. And I would like to ask a favor that you would please share Wisdom Trek with your family and friends, either through email, Facebook, Twitter, or just invite them in person to come along with us each day. The journal for today's trek can be found at wisdom-trek.com. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most importantly, your friend, as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal each day. And as we take this trail together, let us always live abundantly or fully, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and leave a living legacy each day. This is Guthrie Chamberlain reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and then create a great day every day. See you tomorrow.